Let's see if this is working. This is my first attempt at running a PC stream since the, Twitch blackout. Ooh, hey, we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 5 of our Gamers Outreach charity streams. Today's flavor of the day will be Doki Literature Club, because, I'm an English teacher, and this is probably going to haunt me in my nightmares at some point or another. But I think it'll be interesting. Alright, first let me start by pinging the outreach. Alright, let's jump right in. Hey! Oh god. This text collectively is in like 6 girls' DMs at once. Anyway. I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. Oh, that's not nice. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept to get her face. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. The pouty look. That's mean, Lee. Oh yeah, I forgot it uses your name. I forgot. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to it saying my name at the top. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean, even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Lee, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. And, truthfully, throughout high school and college, I really wasn't big on joining any clubs. It wasn't my style. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average, while spending my free time on games and anime. I didn't come here to be attacked, sir. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. This game continues to attack me. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I'd die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. Rude. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Would you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay. I do not promise to succeed. I only promise to try. Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. Honestly, mood. I look around and realize I'm the only one left in the classroom. Okay, even I don't space out that hard. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting there and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late for your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. Oh my god. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. She said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. I'm slightly offended by my own character's lines, because I am an English teacher. Literature is my entire existence. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. Oh no. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I probably would too. I'd sell it for a Klondike bar, to be honest. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs. A section of the school I rarely visit being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. That's polite of her. Seriously, you brought a boy? Oh, here we go. Way to kill the atmosphere. Lee, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. Okay, so here's one thing that I've always had a bit of an issue with this game. They're high schoolers. This is obvious. They just said that this is a third year area, which means generally everybody's like 16, 17-ish. And they respectively look like, she looks like a freshman. These two look like either junior or senior, and Sayori looks like a sophomore. Everybody in the story is 18, which makes no sense, but whatever. I feel like that was just so people wouldn't freak out so much about things, but I don't like it. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Oh god, here we go. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, I don't know if I'm saying that right, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Exactly. See, that's my point. They all look various ages, but allegedly they're all adults, and that is weird. I don't like it. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. This is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that, okay? Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. It sounds like you already know Monika, is that right? Oh, don't we all? That's right. It's great to see you again. Monika smiles sweetly. Every time she turns like that, for some reason, this, like, the shelves immediately behind her, between her back and her hair. Every time she tilts that way, my eyes unfocus and that entire segment becomes pixels. It's weird, and I don't know why her moving like that does that to my eyes. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monika was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monika. Come sit down, Lee. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monika. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. And how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. That's actually adorable. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make the ears. So cute. I love that. That's actually awesome. I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. For someone who did not want me here and raised a fuss about me walking in the door, she really wants to know what I think of her cupcakes. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this? Oh no! Made them for you or anything. Oh no! I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe. But not for, you dummy. Oh god. Alright. I'm gonna be real with y'all. That kind of attitude it's a little annoying, but it's also cute, endearing, and a bit attractive. It's funny when people get all flustered because you show appreciation, and they don't know how to handle it, so they get slightly aggressive. It's kind of funny. And give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. That wasn't really the issue here. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? First of all, I haven't had the ability to just sit down and read a good book in 10 years. Second of all, I don't like tea. And if I am drinking tea, I don't want hot tea. Everything with that sentence is wrong for me. I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. Couldn't be me. Could be Lee, apparently, but it couldn't be me. I'm glad. Me and my character are not the same. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow and smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so that's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? Hi, babies. Relax. Chase each other around, but nobody gets hurt, okay? Hi, Zoe. Good girls. As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, Nope. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. Feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I'd personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if I encourage others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Yeah, it's fair. That's pretty much why I'm an English teacher. I want people to get into, really nice literature. Things that could make them really happy and successful. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised that there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. I don't know about that one, Chief. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events, like the festival, that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah. We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monaco must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Lee, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Mind your business. Don't, how dare you do me like that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, I'm joking. I haven't sat down and read a good book in so long, man. I have so many upstairs waiting for me in my closet. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. No. Manga readers are readers too. Reading anything is reading. Now, would I consider somebody reading The Odyssey or Beowulf on the same level of someone who reads, a singular comic or two? No, probably not. But reading's reading. It doesn't matter. Now, if reading comics and manga and all of that stuff overall is your thing, and you do a good amount of it, then you're just as much of a reader as anybody else. Nothing wrong with that. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. Yes. So, check. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. Telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. Okay, this is actually a really important thing to notice for the rest of your lives. This is a real-world skill here. If you see people who are shy and quiet and barely say anything, figure out what they like and ask them about it. Because the way that will rip them out of their shell and they will let themselves be ripped so happily, it is major. Seeing how bubbly someone gets when you ask them about their favorite things is outstanding, and I love it. But I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Double check. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? That doesn't happen to me often. I imagine way too much. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. What a coincidence. Triple check. Now, I read a horror book once. It was probably an R.L. Stine book. Man, I miss Goosebumps. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Well, can she smell what I'm cooking? Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. That's me with video games, honestly. Like, I love reading, but it's hard to do. And gaming lets me be an interactive version of that, and I like that. Also, sometimes I just want to sit for 3 hours and farm potatoes in Stardew Valley. Ain't nothing there about a book, but it'd be like that. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? Who gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud, and give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I am not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Everybody is their worst critic, because you've had to see every single detail and every single thought process of the writing. If you don't like your work and you don't want your friends to see it, show them anyway. Not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. Sometimes it takes recklessness, and that's okay. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. No. No. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. She visibly sunk. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Oh, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay. I have an idea, everyone. Huh? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. Jesus Christ, their collective looks. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. No, she's pissed. She's not disappointed or upset. She's mad. But, I'm sorry, I thought... Okay, now she's upset. You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. Listen, it's not the worst motivation in the world to get into writing and reading. I guess I could understand. I can sympathize. You want to hang out with pretty people. If it expands your mind in the process, then go forth, I suppose. Just the premise of this is so funny to me. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. And that makes it official. Welcome to the Literature Club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Hehe. My eyes. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Sayori and I never walk home together anymore, because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. I don't know, I feel like just hitting a random word and seeing what happens. I don't know, what do I want to do here? I don't know, I can try to aim for Sayori. I think that's who I'm... Nope. Papa! Pop. Dazzle. Sunset, I got it. Silly. Flying. Shiny. Hope. Bunny. Smile. Fluffy. I have no idea what I ended up with. I wasn't keeping count. Hi again. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. No, don't worry. Hi, Zoe. Hi. Hi, baby. Snuggles. Good girl. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. I would be crying in the corner holding a moo-moo by now. Because being surrounded by a group of strangers I don't really know or get along with is terrifying. And if I'm doing it to get into something I'm not used to and don't do, which in this case would not be literature, I'd be horrified. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to... Exactly. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. I will throw you out the window right now. You weigh like 60 pounds. I will just yeet you. So you already told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. No, I didn't. Last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. I mean, I could. That's my business, isn't it? But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. I think if I'm not causing a problem, it doesn't matter. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Agreed. It's a little more unorthodox compared to quote-unquote traditional literature, but of course it's literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. He always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking, like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. I feel bad for people who have that kind of OCD. They see their friends being messy and they have to clean it for them because it makes them freak out. You almost set your house on fire once. Oh no! Thankfully, I've never been at risk of that one. I love to cook. I absolutely love to cook. You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Lee can be good friends too. Word? Word? As usual, Sayori becomes oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know. Wait, Sayori... Eh? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Those moments are stressful when people just throw you under the bus like that. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. I mean, unless it's like crap in tinfoil. You know, I might smack you. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright, well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? Shyness is adorable. But also it's a curse. I hate it. She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I will definitely read this. That's me when my friends tell me to watch a YouTube video and I'm like, I'm definitely going to watch this. And you know what? It's not because I don't want to. It's because I forget to. Enthusiastically take the book. I would take this book out of my bag at home, put it down next to my bed, and forget about it until like 3 in the morning and then be like, I'm too tired to read this. I'll do it tomorrow, but I won't do it tomorrow. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. That doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Man, looks like no one wants to be bothered today. I slump down into the nearest desk. How am I supposed to occupy myself with something literature-related by myself like this? Reading is usually a one-man operation. But I have to say, like, not necessarily reading with somebody, but you know what's a really wholesome gesture that I wish people did more often in relationships? Something you do with your kids, really. You read books aloud to, it's really nice. Just listening to someone talk to you in a nice story, it's like, I'm not big on audiobooks, but I'd love to have people read to me. I guess I could always read some of the book Yuri gave me. And the difference there is, like, it's intended for me instead of just being like somebody recorded this for a job or something. But I'm feeling a little too tired to read. I could probably fall asleep right now. I close my eyes and end up listening in on Sayori's conversation with Monica. We're probably going to seem really lame compared to all the other clubs, though. Well, we can't give up. The festival is our chance to show everyone what literature is all about. We have a Zoe again. The problem is that the idea of a literature club sounds too dense and intellectual. But it's not like that at all, you know? Yeah, I mean, the word literature sounds really high and mighty, but it's not. Pretty much anything is literature. You know, I'm not going to call you a Rhodes Scholar if the only thing you read is the ingredients list of your cereal box, but, you know, we don't have to be picky. Oh, Zoe is now climbing up my chair. Hello, baby. You want to join in on the stream? And I know, this is my first PC stream ever that didn't have a camera on it. And that's a shame because you guys would be staring at Zoe right now as she stares at you. But I'm exhausted this weekend. I don't have the energy to sit there and smile for a camera. Plus, I'd have to, like, wrap up my arm so that nothing is, like, rubbing up against it. It'd be like that. We just need a way of showing that to everyone. Something that speaks to their creative minds. Video games. It's a combination of every art form put together. Changed my mind. That doesn't solve the problem, though. Eh? What do you mean? Even if we come up with the most fun thing ever, nobody will come in the first place if it's a literature event. So it's more important to figure out how to get people to show up in the first place, you know? And after they come, we can do the thing to speak to their creative minds. What's this? Sayori's taking this really seriously. It's rare to hear her deliberating like this. Huh, that's a good point. In that case, do you think food will do the trick? Food will do a lot for you. It really will, especially for school events. Food goes a long way. Well, I guess we could cupcakes. Good thinking. Natsuki would love to do that. Honestly, a huge bake sale kind of thing, or just like a baking thing for an event will get a lot of students' attention. You don't need to get them to join the club. You just need to get them to walk by and look. Sometimes that's enough. Even if it's so much as them going to a friend and telling them, hey, I saw this the other day and it looked kind of interesting. Because now the friend's thinking about it. People's brains are weird, but when you learn how they work, you can really play to your advantages. Suki makes the best cupcakes. That works out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it? Cupcakes speak to my creative tummy. That's a mood. Cupcakes it is, then. I'm hungry. Anyway, we still need to work out the details of the event itself. I find myself smiling. In the end, Sayori is still her usual self. But therein lies the unexpected reason I admire her. Unlike me, who has trouble finding any motivation at all, Sayori can put her mind to things and make them come to life. Stop personalizing this. It's not fair to me. I suppose that's why I end up letting her get on my case about things. I can't help but wonder what it would be like to see the world through her eyes. Oh god, and suddenly she's in our face. I open my eyes to find Sayori's face filling my vision. I nearly fell out of my chair. Sorry. Wait. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. It's your fault for sleeping like that. Y'all didn't talk to me. Y'all didn't tell me what to do. I'm not gonna be feeling bad about this. This isn't the napping club. Does our school have a napping club? Okay, but real talk. If the school had a napping club, I'd probably join it. That sounds like fun. You're staying up late again, aren't you? Now that you're in a club, you're gonna have less time for anime, you know. Bet. Bet. That's just time I will stay up even later. You'll need to get used to it. Don't say that so loud. I glance over my shoulder to see if Monica overheard. It's true, though. Yeah. I know. You're always looking out for me, Sayori. It's what I do best. That's a problem? That's a problem. That wasn't a question. What about you? You look out for me better than you look out for yourself. You're still oversleeping every day, aren't you? Not every day. That's not very convincing. How many days this past week have you gotten up on time? It's a secret. Listen, I don't get up on time either. I don't need to be attacked from both sides now. It's not cool. I knew it. Come on, at least give me the benefit of the doubt. I can't even do that. Look, Sayori, it's written all over you. Huh? Sayori glances around at herself. How is it written all over me? You were clearly in a rush this morning. Look, your hair is sticking out all around here. I run my fingertips down the side of Sayori's hair, trying to straighten it out. Man, you really need a brush for this. My hair is just really hard to get right. I feel that. My hair has a mind of its own when it gets long. Which, speaking of long, it's down past my shoulders now. I won't fall for that. There's more than just your hair. Look, your bow isn't straight either. There's toothpaste stain on your collar right here. Try to wipe off the stain with my fingers. But nobody would ever notice that. Of course they would. Nobody's gonna tell you about it because they don't want to embarrass you. No, our character noticed because he cares and pays attention. And that's my best friend. Fortunately, I really don't care about that. Hey, you meanie. You don't even keep your blazer buttoned up. Seriously, Sayori. Why do you think you don't have a boyfriend? Oh, cold. That is mean. Sorry, but you'll thank me later. I start to button her blazer from the bottom. Once you see how much better it looks, you'll change your mind. This is a weird angle I don't appreciate. This is so funny. What is? Well, I was just thinking how weird it is to have a friend who does these kinds of things. Huh? Don't say that. You'll make me feel weird about it, stupid. Oh great, now I'm doing it. It's okay though. I'm happy we're like this. Oh, Zoe, you're coming over for another round? Why do you like to wrestle with my chair? Why does that interest you? I'm happy we're like this. Aren't you? I guess. Well, now she's standing up on the back of my chair, just looking around. What are you doing? You absolute nutcase. What is up with you? Hi. I don't know if you guys can hear the chirping that she's making, but it's cute. Hey, be careful. The button might come off. Why is this one so hard to... Don't go there. We don't have to go down this road. I struggle to fully close the button near her chest. Does this thing even fit you properly? It did when I bought it. If you ever buttoned it, you would have noticed sooner. I don't think the issue is so much that it just doesn't fit. There's kind of some things in the way, if I had to guess. We don't have to go down that. What are you smiling about? Please, we don't have to go down this road. Oh no, we went down this road. It means my boobs got bigger again. Don't say that out loud. I appreciate the kind of friendship that can just blurt that out in front of each other, but also she's in the middle of a quiet classroom with 3 other people. It's just so funny to me. And also, again, they look like children. This is weird and hilarious. Anyway, you look much better now, so... Why does it feel strange to see Sayori's blazer buttoned up like that? But it's so stuffy. What are you doing, Zoe? It's not worth it at all. Sayori hastily unbuttons her blazer once more. I'm curious what her model would have looked like if it had been done up all the way and zoomed out the way it is now. Phew. Hey Ben, what's up? How you doing? That's so much better. Sayori puts her arms out and twirls around. So if I keep it unbuttoned, then I won't get a boyfriend, right? What kind of logic is that? Why are you saying that like it's a good thing? Listen, if the difference between me getting a date and not getting a date is whether or not I button up my flannels, I don't want it. If I had a boyfriend, then he wouldn't even let you do things like this. Nonsense. It's not like, that kind of friendship is also important for when you get into a relationship. Because if your significant other is uncomfortable with you and your friends being close, physically affectionate, if you're not kissing each other, if you're not actually doing relationship style actions, it doesn't matter. It's a confidence problem at that point, a trust issue. Trust that it's harmless and platonic. It doesn't have to be anything but just, oh, she looked like a mess, so let's help her, let's clean her up a little. That's not a big deal. A proper significant other is okay with stuff like that. To a certain degree. Don't go overboard. Don't cross lines. Respect boundaries. And you take care of me better than anyone else would anyway. Precisely. So that's why I'm keeping it unbuttoned. Stop saying all these embarrassing things. Eh? I didn't say anything embarrassing. Jeez. Well, anyway, just focus on trying to wake up a little earlier. Only if you focus on going to bed earlier. Fine. It's a deal. I guess we really are better at taking care of each other than we are at taking care of ourselves. Honestly, I feel that. I'm an excellent caretaker of my friends. I suck at taking care of me. Yeah, I guess so, huh? Maybe you should come wake me up in the morning. You're doing it again, Sayori. Aw, but I was joking that time. I don't believe you. I don't know that I believe you. I think, in fact, that you have lied to me. It's impossible to tell with you sometimes. Okay, everyone, huh? Monica suddenly calls out. Why don't we share the poems we wrote now? Yay! I can't wait to read yours. Yeah, same. Wait a minute. I fail to sound enthusiastic, but Sayori still trots away to retrieve her poem. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? This is actually even more funny on a personal level because, I am a writing major. I am an English teacher. I am into literature in general because I am a poetry writer. It is my primary focus, and I still do write semi-regularly. I write weekly when I have class work to do, but, that doesn't count. So it's poetry is huge for me, and my character is sitting here going, huh? I've never done this. It's a weird feeling. I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. Seeing that would give me anxiety. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. Also gives me anxiety because those stupid things do not open properly and let you write on the edges at all. And I hate composition notebooks. I really do. Because I am left-handed. Writing on the right-hand page is horrible. You can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. I hate it here. Who should I show my poem to first? Sayori. Definitely most comfortable sharing it with Sayori first. She's my good friend after all. Oh my goodness. This is so good. I understand very well. What do you understand very well? I'm slightly spacing out as I read. I like the music to this game. It's a lot more carefree than the actual game. This is so good. Huh? I love it. I had no idea you were such a good writer. Sayori. You must be seriously overreacting. I'm not a good writer at all. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. Well, maybe that's why. Because I have no idea what I like. I mean, if you don't know what you like, you can't find something that you don't like. It doesn't exist yet. Jeez, I'm sure Yuri's opinion has to be a little more constructive than this, maybe even Natsuki's. Are you sure you don't like it just because I wrote it? That is a fair bias? Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of other people, you know? So when I read your poem, it's not just a poem. It's a Lee poem. And that makes it feel extra special. Like I can feel your feelings in it. Ah, yes, the feely feels. That feely feel that feels feely. Sayori hugs the sheet against her chest. This is getting weird again. You're so... Exactly. There it is. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room? Of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? What? Deep down? What do you mean, deep down? Trying new things like this for other people, are you suggesting I'm selfish on the surface? That's something that only really good people do. Thanks. That felt like a backhanded compliment. It really did. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. I want to smack my own character. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm going to make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now, you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear Sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed. Making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. That line is so cute, actually. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. This poem is so stupid, but I actually like it. Like, I'd smack her upside the head and then say, this is outstanding. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? Listen, mind your business. All of my poetry assignments get done at the time they're due. It's the due date. Plain and simple. Due spelled D-O. I do it right there because it's due then. No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to an yes or no question. Actually, no. If she wrote most of it and then just put the ending. It counts. I forgot to do it last night. That's fair. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Be mean. I still tried my best. It's not bad. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah, it does. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I can't remember the last time I actually sat and had a proper breakfast, man. Almost as long as it's been since I sat down and read a book. I get all cranky. I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Let's go to the other cutesy one, since apparently I got way more points with her than I wanted. I was not aiming to get Natsuki at all, and I got like 6. Huh? Well, it's about what I expected from someone like... Careful now. I'll open the window. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. Basically, it's not cute enough for your taste. You want to get smacked? Bet. I'll pass. I'll square up with you right now. Anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try, but that's about it. This feels like a poem I'd hear out of, like, either, probably Ed in Ed, Edd n Eddy. I don't know why, but that's what I hear. I hear his voice with this. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. It can be. Listen, man, I'm a walking, talking flower. I have petals from wrist to shoulder now. I can't tell you how many poems I wrote as assignments in college that were just about flowers. It doesn't have to be that serious. Sometimes poems can just be cutesy. I like that. So people don't even take my writing seriously. That being said, her writing definitely comes off as somebody who's not super experienced in it. But that's not a bad thing. And the poem didn't suck. It feels unrefined. Isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Exactly. Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. I feel that a little too much. Yeah, I understand. I feel that a little too much. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. I hate when people do stuff like that. Uh, it's like those videos where you see patterns being made, but it's just slightly off, and then suddenly your OCD goes into overdrive, and you're like, "Oh my god, someone please fix it! I'm gonna kill something." That that's the feeling I get when people set up a good ending for writing, like a good rhyme or something, and then flop it intentionally. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm gonna make you eat the paper. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Y'all the same age. Guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Okay, hang on. No, I'm checking. I am checking. All the characters are confirmed to be 18. All of them. Everybody here is an adult who does adult things. Hi. Excuse me. Having a good time so far? No. Ah, yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? I'm actually really good at coming up with ideas if I see things I don't like or don't agree with. I'm pretty good at coming up with ways to change it. It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, I want someone to like make a mod for this game where every time someone laughs, it's a random One Piece character because they all have the most ridiculous laughs. I want to see Monaco laugh like Blackbeard. You know. Don't worry. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Mm-hmm. I like this one. It makes me think of something Sayori would like. Listen, is that so? You and Sayori are really good friends, right? Wouldn't be surprised if you had those sort of things in common. Well, we may be good friends, but Sayori and I are actually really different. Well, that may be the case, but maybe there's also some similarities that you wouldn't expect. The way she talks about you, it sounds like the two of you really care about each other's well-being. Even if you show it in different ways, it ends up being more similar than you'd think. So I think that's the kind of vibe I get when reading your poem. You sure you're not reading into it too much? I could be. Oh my gosh, I sound like Yuri. But in any case, Sayori's writing has kind of a gentle feel to it. I can tell that she likes exploring with emotions like happiness and sadness. Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy sad things too? Yeah, it's totally unexpected. No, it's not. Well, to each their own, and you shouldn't be afraid to experiment a little bit either. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kind of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Ah ha ha. Ah ha ha. It did it twice. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. Sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Confidence is key, even if you don't like it. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. Yeah, that's fair. Doesn't mean I always feel that way. True. Let's read it then. Hole in wall. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. That's a weird flow. Also, I suck at putting punctuation in my poetry. Either it's not there, or it's like there in every wrong spot. But this is weird. This feels weird. I'd rather hit I'd hit enter here if I were typing it out. Just move it down one. And then remove this period. My retina is already scorched. You know what I mean? Like I'd mess with this a little bit, but it's not bad. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what y'all say. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. Ah ha ha, it's okay. No, I'll rip your poem to shreds. Physically, give me the paper right now. That kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Joe! Hello, hello! Welcome in. What were you playing? Oh, Fortnite. How was Fortnite? Are you winning, son? Did you win? Hello. Oh, is my voice too quiet? Wait a minute. Can you hear me? How about now? Much better? Okay. Let's try more. More! Better. Ben, you should have said something. Give me more. But, welcome in, Joe. How was Fortnite? Yeah, something like that. Kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. True. You try so hard to make it perfect, and you'll never make any progress. Also true. I'm playing Far Cry, and I finally got my plane ticket. Well, congratulations. Plane ticket to what? You going to visit your parents, or? It was good. I actually won one match. That's good. Congratulations. I have like a total of maybe 10 wins in Fortnite under my belt. I played it for like 4 months. So I was not good. I was not good at all. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. I hate this approach. I don't put anything on the paper if I don't at least think it's okay. Putting it down and then deciding it sucks is a little different, but I want to at least feel like it's a good idea. Another way to think about this: if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. Maybe a big dark puddle of ink is what I want. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Who should I show my poem to next? No, she don't talk trash. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes. More than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh. Sorry. I forgot to start speaking. Bruh. It's fine. Don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. So it's that bad. No. I just raised my voice. I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. Might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine. I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing, even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. They did not. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri's apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. What does that mean? What is that? What do you mean you flicker back? Like, even in a creative metaphorical sense, what the hell does that mean? I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. Actually, your handwriting is too good. It's so neat and like sweet. It's hard to decipher. I can't remember the last time I had to write in cursive on a consistent basis. It's been ages. I flicker all the time when you want about no. What? I wasn't thinking that at all, but it took you a long time to read. It's because there's a lot of loop-de-loops. Ah. Well, I just don't read script very often. Exactly. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Yeah? That's a relief. Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. It was on the shorter side, but that's okay. It was actually a good length. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Hit me with your best shot. I need to see this now. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past. I mean, I guess. See, here's the thing. I actually threw out. I did a really weird thing reading that where I see the word ghost, and instead of taking the metaphor of a ghost literally and assuming that the writer is a ghost, I took it metaphorically and thought that the writer was an actual person who felt like a ghost. That is a whole lot of words that don't make a lot of sense, but I completely flipped her intent there. And soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things, too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Could never be me. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. Not all of them were that good, buddy. It's not that serious. This is the literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Maka are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language, huh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you just completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. I'm easily amused. I'm sat here rattling my tablets as they sound like a mini Mariah. You are easily amused, but you know what? Aren't we all? That sounds somewhat entertaining. How could that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? I mean, you have to try that hard to come up with something nice. I hate people who do that. I hate people who do that. Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. I mean, it wasn't the best compliment, no. It didn't. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it. Lee did too. I didn't say all that. My character did, but I didn't. Based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. What a slap. What a slap. He liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed, but I'm getting dragged into the middle of something that I did not agree to. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Uh-oh. Eh? That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that he appreciates my advice more than he appreciated your... This is not going well. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No, if I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. This is not going well. Shots are being fired, and I'm pretty sure one of them has ricocheted and smacked me in my jaw. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one. Oh, no. This is a call-out nobody deserved. I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Lee started showing up. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. Oh, I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly both girls turned towards me, as if they just noticed I was standing there. She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? I agree. Making any work of art overly complicated with no real point to it, with no real in-depth meaning to search for, is a waste of time as a reader. It is honestly, it's an attempt to show off, nothing more. I find that like a big pet peeve of mine. The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. That part I disagree with. Help me explain that to her. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. Correct. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right? Well, I didn't get dragged into this in the first place. It's not like I know anything about writing. But whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course that's going to be... Help! Natsuki? Natsuki glares at me, drawing up any words I had in my mouth, so instead I turn to Yuri. Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori? Huh? Yeah. Everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict, but you both grabbed me by the collar and just threw me into the fire here. Unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being, she would never. It's your immaturity that made her upset in the first place. Excuse me! Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... No. Hard line in the sand. Don't you dare. Stop. Hard line in the sand. Strong boundary here. Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented, so why are we fighting? Because, well, also, Natsuki's cute, and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always were. Big and beautiful. Oh no. Hi, piano. Welcome in. We're having a really interesting time here. Sayori stands triumphantly. Monica stands behind her with a bewildered expression. Al makes some tea. Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So this is why Sayori is vice president, I whisper to Monica. She nods in return. This just proves the statement I say in League, you both are pretty worksies. Fine, but if you tell me and Mikey that our boobs are big and beautiful as they always were, I might throw a gin clip at you. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. Or any of us. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Nah. It's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own way, isn't she? You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Can you not? Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. Okay, everyone, it's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. How about you? I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. Maybe you learned something from your friends, too, so your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. It's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise, they're both wonderful people. I mean, friends fighting does not inherently make them bad people, but it makes their dynamic very undesirable. You don't hate them, do you? I hate their guts. They are the worst people I've ever met in my life. No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. You know, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. I think everyone really likes you, too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. Looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? I feel like I have to do both here. I have to do both my grin, but I also have to give the disappointed dad. I have to hit myself with both of them, and it's non-negotiable, unfortunately. We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes, yo. The people you tell just stand there and shut up. I need to talk for a minute. Don't say a word. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Alright. Day 3. I don't want to. I shouldn't, but I have to. Oh, come on. Why her? Why did that have to be one of hers? Oh, no, not again. Laugh. Sunny. Time. No. Anger. Poof. Pink. No! I'm trying to pick stuff that I think Sayori would like, because she's the one I'm aiming for here. Together. I don't know what the split on that was. I wasn't paying attention. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Hi. Yo, Sayori. Looks like you're in a good mood today. I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. I see. It's a pretty simple thing to get you in a good mood, but I guess it's always the simple things with you anyway. Speaking of which, that sounds like an insult and a compliment. I'm kind of hungry. Will you come with me to buy a snack? No thanks. Huh? That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayori? Why that all of us? No reason, really. I just wanted to look at it. Sayori nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. Then she turns it upside down and lets its contents spill onto the desk. Only 2 small coins fall out. Ah, I knew it. I can see right through you, Sayori. That's not fair. How did you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming to the club room. Ah, yes, my skills of deductive reasoning coming in handy. You're lecturing my friend for not buying a bag of chips. Either you're not hungry and want an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all your money so that I would lend you some. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry. And so that only leaves the one option. This feels like a conversation with Adrian. Except he's got cheeks instead of boobs, but you know. I give up. Don't make me feel guilty. If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Ah. Yuri suddenly giggles. Huh? I didn't notice that she was listening in. Her face is in her book, as always. I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Yuri, tell Lee to let me borrow some money. That's Don't get me involved like that. Oh, like you got me involved yesterday. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. Agreed. Not me buying 6 PS5. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do something that stupid. I want to, but I wouldn't. Frankly, after pulling a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is fair enough retribution. You're one to talk. I didn't mean that. I got too absorbed in my book. I really like when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. There's no way you could think that. You were right, though. I did something bad, and now I have to accept the repercussion? Retribution. No, I don't think retribution's the right word here. That, like, it's a synonym to the kind of words we're looking for, but that's not it. Still, coming from you, Sailor, because retribution is like vengeance. Sort of. It's like a nicer word for vengeance. That's not what this is. I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? Yeah, somebody fed my inner gremlin after midnight, and it hasn't shut up since. Don't let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. But you wouldn't have come if it weren't for the cupcakes. So I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori. What was that? Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori in the face and tumbles onto the desk. Oh no! What was... Huh? A cookie? Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori glances around. Is this a miracle? It's because I paid my restitution. Retribution. Actually, that one did actually almost work. It's funny. I was just gonna give it to you, but then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. It was totally worth seeing your reaction, though. Ah ha ha. Natsuki? That's so nice of you. I'm so happy. Sayori hugs the cookie. Geez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapper and takes a big bite. So good. Sayori suddenly clasps her hand over her mouth. I bit my tongue. Me too. Me too. I hate that. You're going through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Ah, yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez, beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Yeah, what do you think I gave you that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me. Sayori gets out of her seat, goes behind Natsuki. Oh. I accidentally skipped over that. Then wraps her arms around her. Ah, jeez. I get it. Cookie still in hand, Natsuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off of her. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Natsuki's cookie. Hey, did you seriously just do that? A full Sayori trots away to safety. That's wrong. Yuri and I laugh as well. That's foul. Jeez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monica, can you tell Sayori? Huh? Natsuki glances around. Monica isn't in the club room. Ah. Where's Monica, anyway? Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today? Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. Ugh, there's a crappy smell coming in from outside. It smells like something is, like, burnt. Like, really burnt. What is that? That's a bit unusual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular, after all. Huh? You don't think she has a... I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. Incorrect. That's true. Excuse me? Suddenly, the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. Oh, there you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. A little bit. Lovely, I'm off to bed. I put a little video of my mini macarena in that feed chat. That sounds outstanding, Joe, and I'm gonna have to look at it after this. That's precious, and I'm glad you managed to entertain yourself with something so absurd. You have a wonderful night now. Thank you very much for the raid. Huh? Monica chose the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed. Boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about? Monica quizzically glances at me. What did I do? Never mind that. What held you up, anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. Ah, that makes no sense, though. You would have heard the bell ring, at least. I must not have heard it, since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monica. I miss having a piano. I don't, really. I kind of just started recently. I suck at it, too. I've always wanted to learn piano. Same. It's so cool. You should play something for us. That's... Monica looks at me. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will. Yay, that sounds cool. I'd also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down. Monica smiles sweetly. Stop standing in that position. Ah, I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Don't worry. I've been practicing a whole lot recently. I'd really love the chance to share once I'm ready. I see. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I? No, not really. I choose to leave out Sayori's mischievous escapade. I'm sure Natsuki will end up complaining to her anyway. Looks like everyone has already settled down. Sayori somehow already finished her entire cookie. Yuri is back to her book, and Natsuki disappeared into the closet. Lee. Sayori suddenly comes up to me. I'm gonna go get some supplies from another classroom. Wanna come with me? Supplies? What for? Well, you know how the festival's coming up? Me and Monica were gonna make some posters and stuff. So I need to go find some crayons and markers. And glue sticks. I see. Sure, I'll go with you. Yay! Okay, Monica, we'll be back soon. Are you going with Lee to get the supplies? There's no need to trouble yourself. I'd be happy to go with him. But I wanted to go. It's so much fun exploring empty classrooms and stuff. I like how they both want to go, but they both assume that I'm going, just as a default. Okay, it was just a suggestion. See if you can find poster paper too, okay? Okay. Ready? Yep, let's go. Sayori and I exit the club room. I follow behind as Sayori hums and skips around the hallway. Honestly, it feels like I'm taking a kid to the mall or something. Sayori finds pleasure in the simplest things sometimes. Hey, Sayori, what exactly are we doing for the festival anyway? I'm not sure how you would make an event out of literature. Me and Monica have it all planned out. Don't you worry. Is that so? Yep. We're going to do a poetry performance. Oh, God. A performance? Of what kind? Well, everyone's going to take turns on stage and recite their favorite poems. That sounds kind of dull? Lee, not thinking about it the right way at all. I mean, it could get dull because you get a lot of people who just read off of the same exact author just because they're popular. It happens. It feels like a lot of it might end up being ingenuine, and that would make it dull. It's not just about reading poems, it's about performing them. Like, you say the lines of the poem like, between my feet, the last remaining flower beckons to me. That's right, I'm reaching up to take your ankles. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots. It put me down. Caressing the final joyous moment between my fingers. I'm being crushed to death. I don't appreciate it. Someone make her put me down. But to what ends have I summoned this joy? My life. You murdered me. For now, when I look in every direction, the once prosperous field before me is but a barren wasteland. Like that. Sayori, how do I put this? I'm sure it's just me, but it's impossible for me to take you seriously when you talk like that. It's like when I give the disappointed dad to Raoul. He just laughs because it's all cutesy. He's not like, oh no, he's disappointed. You meanie. I'm working super hard on this, you know. I know. I just meant that it's a pretty unordinary contrast to your cute self. Don't say that, it's embarrassing. But I guess that means I'm doing a good job. I guess so. I'm so excited. The festival is going to be so much fun. Sayori spins herself around in the hallway again. This classroom over here is empty. Let's begin the mission. You know, I thought spooky stuff happened a lot faster in this. The mission, eh? It's been a long time since I've spent time with Sayori like this. But in the end, she hasn't changed one bit. Hey, Hambo! How you doing, bud? Welcome in. She's nothing but a ball of sunshine, drawing happy vibes from the world around her. It's a pretty nostalgic feeling for me. As the years went by, I began to hole myself up in my room more and more. So going adventuring with Sayori brings about a special sort of feeling I forgot I had in me. The two of us enter the classroom. Sayori heads straight to the closet, and I follow. Let's see what we have in here. Crayons. Sayori pulls a box full of crayons off the shelf. I hate using crayons. They're the best brand, too. Kind of dirty, though. Sayori starts pulling various crayons out of the box, reading the color names. Alright, that's one down. Don't get distracted. We still need to find... Wait, I'm looking for my favorite color. Fine. And at least move aside so I can look for the poster paper. I dropped one by accident. Smack. Oh. Sayori bends over and... smacks her forehead right into the shelf. That hurts. She falls to the floor and the crayons spill all over her lap. Ow. You okay? My forehead. Sayori clutches her forehead. Geez, Sayori, that's just like you, isn't it? Come on, let me see. Since Sayori is sitting on the floor, I grab her by the waist and pull her out of the closet. You have to move your hands, Sayori, but it hurts. Just do it for a second. Sayori slowly releases her hands from her forehead. I gently brush her bangs to the side. Ow. Sorry. There's a huge red mark on the center of her forehead. A bump is starting to form as well. Man, that's gonna swell up. I should find you some ice. Where would I even find ice around this time? I guess a cold drink would do. You don't have to... I'm fine with looking like a unicorn. Oh. Even wincing from the pain, Sayori makes a silly joke. That's the one true vibe. What are you saying? I'll be right back, okay? Okay. I pat Sayori in the shoulder and run out into the hallway. I locate the nearest vending machine. What should I get? Doesn't really matter since it will be used as an ice pack rather than to drink. You should still not waste it. I know Sayori likes apple juice, so I purchased that one. In just a moment, I'm already returning to the classroom where I left Sayori. She has one palm on her forehead and is using the other hand to clumsily scoop crayons back into the box. She hasn't moved. At least they were already in the wrong spots before I spilled them. Sayori, here. I hand Sayori the bottle of apple juice. It's nice and cold. Sayori opens the cap and starts drinking from it. Sayori, what are you doing? It's for your forehead. Okay, forehead. Sorry, I forgot. How hard did you hit your head? Sayori places the bottle against the bump on her head. It stings. Just bear with it. It'll feel better soon. Looks like you cleaned up most of the crayons, so that's good. Hey, Lee. This kind of reminds you of growing up, doesn't it? What do you mean? What? Oh, that's a weird bottle design. You know how we used to play outside all the time? I would always try to keep up with you. You were kind of oblivious in some ways. Like I usually fell behind or had trouble climbing on the things that you did. Sometimes when I tried to do things I couldn't, I would get myself hurt. I'd fall and scrape myself, or get a bump. And I would start crying really hard. And you would rush over as quick as you could. You would try really hard to get me to stop crying. It was almost like you blamed yourself and were afraid of getting in trouble if someone found out. Even though it really wasn't your fault at all, you know? Did I really do that? Yeah, you don't remember? Come to think of it, maybe I do remember a bit. I guess I was always so focused on my games that I didn't pay enough attention to you. So in a way, it was my fault. Kind of like this time, too. If I wasn't rushing you out of the closet, you probably wouldn't have hit your head. I don't think you realize it. You're always thinking about other people. I do my best. Even after all these years. You're rushing to help me, even though I'm just being clumsy. You're really a sweetheart. I do my best. Don't call me that. I would actually, be an entire tomato and just, retreat into a corner hiding my face if somebody did that. I do not handle compliments well. I don't really do this kind of thing all the time. I guess when it comes to you, it just feels natural. Before I even know it, I'm treating you like that. I guess that's what happens when you've been friends for so long. Really? Maybe you're right. I'm so glad that nothing's changed between us. Do you think it'll be like this forever? Forever? If I'm honest to myself, there's no telling where we'll each end up for college or after that, so it wouldn't be fair for me to make any promises, but, well, I hope so. It's been this long already, right? I can't imagine you ever changing, so my hopes are up. Seriously, my longest friendship has been since we were 5 years old, and I recently turned 24. Like my longest friendship is 19 years old as of last month. And we don't see each other or talk on a constant basis, but we're still friends. And sometimes that goes a long way, just knowing that they exist. I'm so happy. Sayori has a whimsical expression in her eyes. We remain silent for a moment. She's so clumsy. She's so silly and clumsy on the outside that when I see her deep in thought like this, it makes me not want to disturb her. I guess we should go back. I don't want to worry Monica. Good luck with that. She's going to say your forehead. She's going to see your forehead either way. Not if I hide it under my bangs. Sayori hops to her feet. She clutches her forehead again. Don't stand up so fast after hurting yourself. Well, I guess it's too late now. Anyway, let's go. I follow Sayori out of the classroom. Sayori plays with her bangs to try to hide the bump, but without much success. In a moment, we make it back to the classroom. Or clubroom, same thing. You're back. Yeah, rub it in that. You're still a baby. Listen, Joe. I can't help it, okay? I'm young. But hey, it's still huge that I've had a friendship going. Actually, that friendship is beyond adulthood now. 2 more years, it'll be old enough to drink. I was just about ready to start with sharing our poems. Sayori, your forehead. She's fine. Don't worry about... I was playing with the crayons and smacked my forehead into the shelf. She's so excited. She wants to say something but can't. I have a perfect meme for this too, and we're streaming, so I can't just pull it up. Anyway, were you able to find everything we needed? I have it right. Huh? Sayori frantically glances around herself. I forgot all of this stuff. That's a mood. That's a mood. Calm down, Sayori. I have it all right here. I found the poster paper, too. Aha! Sounds like you ended up doing all the work. Well, Sayori, I failed to come up with an excuse. I made it an adventure. Yeah, that. Aha! Okay. In any case, good work. I'll start working on the posters tonight. Me too. Okay, everyone, are you ready to share your poems? I guess I should grab mine. After making sure the crayon box is closed tightly, I return to my seat. Who should I show my poem to first? I'll show it to Sayori first. I really love your poems. I can't believe you've been hiding these from me. I'm not hiding anything. But your poems are so good. Yesterday's and this one too. You can't tell me you haven't done this before. I mean, you're really the only one who feels that way, so... Eh? No way. Not even Natsuki? Well, I guess Natsuki is the least likely to admit how much she likes something. But I don't think it's that. What do you mean? Well, I guess I'll be honest about it. It's a lot easier to write poems when I'm thinking about you. Huh? Oh, that's actually so cute. Stop thinking weird things, idiot. I just mean you're a really expressive person. Nah. You let those words out your damn mouth. We sticking with that. We're gonna talk about that. Am I supposed to write poems about my own stupid life? I'm gonna smack you upside your damn face. You somehow make everything in your life an adventure, even the little things. Like cooking. Let's not talk about that. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that I can feel more feelings through you than I can through myself. We have that kind of weird connection. It's your fault for getting in my business all the time. Huh? I don't know if I understand. You never understand when I try to explain things to you, do you, Sayori? I pat Sayori's head. Hey. I'm not a kid, you know. Are you sure about that? Maybe. Sayori starts fiddling with her pencil between her hands. Hey, Lee, will you give me your poem? I kind of want to keep it. Huh? Why? Because, well, it's the first time you've written something for me. Sayori, you completely misunderstood. I didn't write this for you. Are you even listening anymore? Nah, I did write this for you, though. Oh, whatever. I'll give it to you when we go home. Really? Ah, I broke my pencil. Being inattentive for surroundings, she bumps right into me. Sorry, it's fine, it's fine. I'll get it for you. I bend down and pick up the broken pencil. Sayori clutches the desk beside her to support herself, knees shaking. I'm a little clumsy today. Let's sit down. I grab Sayori's arm and help her sit at the desk. Anyway, I still haven't read your poem. Oh, sorry, I forgot about that, but it's not as good as yours. Geez, don't worry, I'm sure I'll like it. Bottles. I pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar. I I absolutely despise that line. Not because it's poorly written, but because that is a horrifying image to think of as a person. It's the secret place where I keep all my dreams. Little balls of sunshine, all rubbing together like a bundle of kittens. I reach inside with my thumb and forefinger and pluck one out. It's warm and tingly. But there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe, and I put the bottle on the shelf with all the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts and bottles all in a row. My collection makes me lots of friends. Each bottle has starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friend feels a certain way. Down comes a bottle to save the day. Night after night, more dreams. Friend after friend, more bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go, like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging, scraping and scraping. This really throws off the flow because it's like twice as long. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like time's elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Finally, all done, I open up and in come my friends. In they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them from the shelf, one after the other, holding them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle. But every time I let one go, it shatters against the tile between my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts in shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who aren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading, something. But all I hear is echo, 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 echo inside my head. That's a poem that you like snap to instead of applaud. Holy crap, Sayori, did you really write this? Of course I did. Didn't I tell you yesterday I was going to write the best poem ever? There's work to be done, but it is really good. Yeah, but I mean, I didn't expect something like this coming from you. Monica taught me a whole lot. I've been really in touch with my feelings recently. I see that. It's almost kind of creepy. Well, not exactly. Maybe because I'm so used to you being cheerful. Well, never mind. I'm thinking too hard about it. The point is, it came out good, so you should be proud of it. Aw, thanks. I feel like I was meant to express myself this way. It even helps me understand my own feelings a little bit better. The first half of that poem, my mind was in the gut. Yeah, of course it was. Your mind's always in the gutter. Writing is like magic. You've gotten pretty passionate about this, huh? I hope you keep it up. Yeah, writing's the best. I'm gonna keep writing until I die. Ahaha, don't get ahead of yourself. Sayori's always had a habit of getting obsessed with something before dropping it no more than a week later. I wonder if this is one of those times, but seeing the passion in her eyes makes it hard for me to be pessimistic. So, I honestly didn't realize how much of the actual story comes before the horror part of this. So it does feel like kind of a shame that this is like a Halloween charity stream and we haven't gotten spoopy yet. Because I don't have the time or ability to sit here for another 2, 3 hours. So I think I'm gonna do one more day in game, and if nothing has happened by then, I'm just gonna save it, and then we'll come back to this for an episode 2 because I do really want to finish this. I'm having fun with this, but I think after the next day, I might read one or two of my own poems. Because there's a couple that I really do like that I've written. I think the occasion calls for it. Hmm. Well, it's not really any worse than your last one. I will tombstone pile drive you through the desk right now. Say less. But I can't really say it's any better either. I will suplex you through the board. Phew, what? Well, anything that isn't a train wreck I'll take as a win. I get the feeling you're probably the most critical. Hey, what makes you... Wait, maybe that was a compliment? No, it was not. It was absolutely not. Glad to see someone recognizes my experience. I'm gonna curb stomp you. Well, then keep practicing. Maybe you'll be as good as me someday. That's, Something tells me Natsuki completely missed the point. She ain't gonna miss my fist, though. I'll smack her. Come to think of it, this kind of reminds me of Sayori's poem from yesterday. You think so? Well, I guess if you've been friends with her for so long, you might be on the same wavelength. Stop stealing all my moves! In fairness, I have actually done both of those, just not often. But you never really struck me as her type. Word? Sarah has a type all of a sudden? Well, I don't know. But honestly, how can someone so fluffy spend so much time with someone like you? Hurtful? Rude. It's like she's dragging around a dead weight. Wow. Someone better open the doors, because she's about to get thrown through them. It was a little unnecessary. Think of it this way, if it weren't for me, she would probably just fly away like letting go of a balloon. You could say we take care of each other in our own way. Whatever it is, I don't get it. Oh yeah, I guess I'm supposed to show you my poem. I'm gonna make you eat it. Amy likes spiders. I don't. You know what I heard about Amy? Amy likes spiders. Icky, wriggly, hairy, ugly spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. I'm not her friend either. I'm not gonna judge people for their pet choices, but I'm not gonna hold the damn thing either. Ain't my style. Amy has a cute singing voice. I heard her singing my favorite love song. Every time she sang the chorus, my heart would pound to the rhythm of the words. But she likes spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. Okay, I might overlook it at that point. One time I hurt my leg really bad. Listen, nobody said you could call me out. I'm not okay. Amy helped me up and took me to the nurse. I tried not to let her touch me. She likes spiders, so her hands are probably gross. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a lot of friends. I always see her talking to people. She probably talks about spiders. What if her friends start to like spiders too? That's why I'm not friends with her. It doesn't matter if she has other hobbies. It doesn't matter if she keeps it private. It doesn't matter if it doesn't hurt anyone. It's gross. She's gross. The world is better off without spider lovers. I'm gonna tell everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and take a wild guess and say that spiders is not actually the theme here. But also, I'm not a fan of spiders as pets. If they are what you want to have in your home, that's your business. I'm all the way good. I don't want them in mine. Not bad, right? It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's. Yesterday's was way too short. I was just warming up. I hope you didn't think that was the best I could do. No, of course not. Anyway, the message is pretty straightforward in this poem. I doubt I have to explain it. Sometimes you can explain complicated issues with much simpler analogies. True. And it helps people realize how stupid they're being. Anyone would agree that the subject of this poem is an ignorant jerk. I just got a notification for something. Wait a minute. Hello. Danny Ox QQ, or Danny OX, like Hug and Kiss. Welcome in. Thank you very much for the follow. How you doing today? Do you know people like that? Of course. It's about how everyone thinks That doesn't matter. It can be about anything. True, it can. I wrote it to be easy to relate to. Everyone has some kind of weird hobby or guilty pleasure. Something that you're afraid if people find out, they'd make fun of you or think less of you. But that just makes people stupid. Who cares what someone likes as long as they're not hurting anyone and it makes them happy? I think people really need to learn to respect others for liking weird things. Well, you're definitely right. At least I can relate to that. And I'm sure a lot of other people can too. It's what I do best, after all. I don't like writing unless there's a good message to take away from it. Which is important. I agree. The problem is she thinks that the meaning should automatically jump out at you. That's not necessarily a good thing. Like, conveying emotions is important, absolutely, especially with poetry. If a poem doesn't make you feel something, well, I mean, of course, reading it might make you feel angst, but, that's different. If a poem doesn't make you genuinely feel something, then either you don't understand it or the writer flopped. Because that's what the whole point of a poem, to make you feel. And if it doesn't, it didn't work. But I want to make people think, not just feel. Remember that. But you use simplistic language on purpose. I'm going to write a good one for tomorrow, too, so look forward to it. Let's go for the bad criticism afterwards. Hi again. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad. We take those here. I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. Aha! I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for today? Sure. Here you go. I give my poem to Monica. Alright. It's pretty good. Makes me think of Sayori, like the other one that you wrote. You two are like the dynamic duo. Aha! That's kind of exaggerating it. Yeah, probably. But you do spend a lot of time with her, even in this club, don't you? Then again, I don't blame you for being a little shy. Listen, you didn't have to call me out. I'm not shy, I'm just teasing. And there go my eyes. I hate when she tilts like that. It ruins my vision. I know it takes a bit of time to make friends with everyone, but Yuri and Natsuki are super interesting people, so don't be afraid to give them their share of time. And you can talk to me every now and then, too. I'm not, unapproachable or anything, am I? No, it's nothing like that. I'm just still getting used to being here, that's all. Yeah, I'm sorry if I was putting pressure on you or something. I really didn't mean it like that. No, don't worry. I get what you're saying. Well, alright. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. Save me. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue. An endless cacophony of meaningless noise. The noise, it won't stop. Violent, grating waveforms, squeaking, screeching, piercing, sine, cosine, tangent. Like playing a chalkboard on a turntable, like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meaningless. Load me. Oh, okay. It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? That was like slam poem for a second. I got a little into the groove with that. It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? Ah ha. I guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just a kind of thing I've never really seen before, I guess. I kind of like playing with my space on the paper. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of a poem. That is absolutely correct. If you just block text a poem, you're absolutely going to lose the effect of it. Unless it's something that has to do with the idea of a block or just word overload. Then, yeah, it can work. But I'd say spacing that last line, granted it's supposed to be like about the game itself, it's supposed to be fourth wall break. Putting it all the way at the bottom like that doesn't work. Don't do that. Don't put a line that's like 18 lines below. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short make it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. It's true. It's still hard for me to tell what it's about, though. Aha. Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression of a feeling, or a conversation with the reader. So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Debatable. Here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. You never know when you might change your mind, or when something unexpected may happen. Wait, is this tip even about writing? What am I even talking about? Ah, that's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. That was weird. Let's see what you've written for today. Well done. Your skills are already improving. Really? I don't even know what words I clicked. I'm gonna be real with you. Thanks. Coming from you, that means a lot, eh? It's nothing. I'm just happy to help inspire fellow writers. I know you're new to this, so don't worry so much if it seems like you can't get your poem to feel perfect. Newsflash. It will never happen. You will never get it to feel perfect. You can feel like your poem is done. You can feel like it's great. You can feel like you could put it like on a national stage and it would be outstanding to the whole crowd. But it will never feel perfect. There's always something that can be done. It just isn't always necessary. Poems don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be afraid to be a little more daring. Metaphors can go a long way. Exactly. That's absolutely true. Don't feel like you need to work your brain like turning a bunch of gears. You know what really grinds my gears? Writing poetry. Try letting your mind wander through your feelings and write down the things you see and hear. It's actually a really effective way to write. That's one way to truly enable your reader to see into your mind. It's a very intimate exercise. I see. It's a certainly interesting technique. Thanks for sharing. I have, an example of that if you'd like to read it. Of course. Is this the poem you wrote for today? Yuri nods and timidly hands me her poem. The raccoon. Oh, no, not the raccoon. Not the raccoon. Ugh. Ben, if you're still here, go get Ross. Oh, great. Oh, Snow White all over again. It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuttering of a raccoon outside my window. How? I don't know. DM him? I was kidding. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed my strange tendencies as an unordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread, and my subconscious, well aware of the consequences. Well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity, the raccoon, an urge. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light off of my cutting knife. The very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. I slice the bread, fresh and soft. The raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood. Classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feed myself again. I like that, actually. Yay. Okay, there we go. It's a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't begin to imagine what this poem is about. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style. Actually, I can hazard a guess that we don't have to talk about. Using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. I have the hiccups. Not good. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. It's those sort of things I'm usually forced to keep to myself, so I sometimes enjoy writing about them. That's funny. Huh? Didn't Natsuki also write something about that? About someone being ridiculed for a strange interest? Eh? She did? Yeah. She was talking about how it doesn't matter what you into as long as you're not hurting anybody. She's right. I mean, does she really feel that way? Yeah. Yourself is included in that statement. As long as you're not hurting anybody includes as long as you're not hurting you. That is a very important note here. Sounds like you two have that in common. That's interesting. To me, she seemed like the kind of person who would make fun of my hobbies. But I suppose that's my fault for judging, isn't it? Please don't tell her I said that. Don't worry, I have no reason to. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing it with me. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad that you're a good listener. Okay, everyone, we're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned today, so if everyone could come sit at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. So, do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? Oop. We have another one, W.R. Johnsey. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. What's up? We won't need much more than a few decorations. Sayori has been working on posters, and I've designed some pamphlets we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all, but that doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Sorry, I thought you heard about it already. We're going to be performing. Performing? Monica, yeah, we're going to be having a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is, we're also going to let anyone else come up and recite poems too. Sayori is putting it on all the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Sayori, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting those posters up, did you? Well, I did. Do you really think it's that bad of an idea? Actually, I think it's a great idea. Well, no, it's not a bad idea. But I didn't sign up for this, you know. There's no way I'm going to be performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I could never, in my life, do something like that. For the most part, felt. But then I started high school, started going to the YMCA, and then I started performing on a reasonably regular basis on stage on their open mic nights. So, sometimes you just need something that pulls you out of your shell like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys, I have really bad stage fright for, to give that context. No, Sayori, I understand where they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kind of overlooked that, so I'm sorry. But I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it will inspire others to do the same. She's like poking her in the eye. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about. Yeah, it's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons. Yes, the goal of poetry is not to be intimate with your readers. It's not to get them thinking. It's to pull those feelings and emotions. It's to get intimate with yourself. It's to get your own mind on the paper so that everybody can read through it and decide for themselves how they feel about what's going through your head. And having fun. That's right. And it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them to find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? The only feeling that brought me here was my friend pulling me by the hand, but I know you do. I know we all do. And if all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Sayori looks worried. I guess that leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think that Sayori and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but it looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get it over with. Alright. Phew. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces. Sigh. I guess I don't really have a choice. Sigh. Ah, that's everyone. You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Mood. Oh gosh. It'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. No way. Monica, this is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poems in front of the club, how do you expect to do it in front of strangers? Oh no. Don't worry. I'll start off to help everyone feel a little more comfortable. Can I go next? Of course. Now let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Hang on, I should probably ping this, because it's not coming up. Is this something she's done before, or is she simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Finally, Monica finished the recitation. The four of us applaud. No, you're supposed to snap your fingers. Monica takes a breath and smiles. My finger snapping was all off just now. I don't know why. That was so good, Monica. Aha, thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? I'll go next. Yuri's fired up all of a sudden. Yuri clutches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quickly over to the podium. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances at each of us. You can do it, Yuri. It's called After Image of a Crimson Eye. That sounds like a Dragon Ball move. Or a Naruto one. It sounds like something from the original Big 3 anime. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reading the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transform into the sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns in its structures that she enunciates with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly, she's finished. Everyone is stunned. I'm realizing I messed up on the title of the stream. Figures. My first major charity campaign, and I completely forgot to put it in the title. Oh well. Probably should have figured that out like an hour and a half ago, but it'd be like that sometimes. It's okay. Yuri snaps back into reality. Oh, there goes gravity. And glances around her as if she's bewildered even herself. It's up to me to save this situation. No, it isn't. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me afterward, and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were caught so off guard that we must have forgotten. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back into her seat. Yuri, that was really good. Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri is down for the count. Okay, I guess I'm next then. Sayori hops out of her chair and cheerfully walks to the podium. This one's called My Meadow. I actually have a poem called Meadow. Sorry, I giggled. Sayori, it's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys do it so easily? Sheer willpower. Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself, like in front of a mirror or in your own head. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best that way. I see. Okay then. Sayori begins her poem. Somehow it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly cheery like Sayori is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it. But hearing it come from Sayori's voice almost gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone I thought I knew through and through. Sayori finishes, and we applaud. I did it. Good job, Sayori. Actually, you know what? Give me 1 second. Now that... that makes me want to have Meadow be one of mine. Yep, the Meadow. Okay, yep, got it. So I'll recite that one and another one when I'm done here. I'll do one more day. Evenly liked it. I guess that's a good sign. What does that even mean? It came out nicely, Sayori. The atmosphere of the poem fits you really nicely, but it might be that other poems wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. It might need a little more force behind them, depending on what you're reading. Oh, I know what you mean. Well, I've been practicing that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do in front of everyone. The next time I'm going to make you pick a poem that challenges you a little more. We don't have much time before the festival, you know? Okay. Now who's next? Natsuki? Don't make me go before him. It's not like I can compare to you guys anyway. Might as well at least lower everyone's Child, I will fold you like a backyard lawn chair and shove you inside the desk. Don't test me. Natsuki. It's fine, I might as well get it over with, but it's not like I have much of a selection of what to read. I'll just have to go with what I wrote for today. Stand up and step in front of the podium. But I just showed it to everyone. Wouldn't it have made more sense to do that first? Whatever. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyway. Sorry, I'm not really as good as everyone else. Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writing. That's something that will improve over time, though. Yeah, maybe. Alright then. That just leaves you, Natsuki. Yeah, I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. The poem is called... It's called... Why are you all looking at me? Because you're presenting. Anyway, the poem is called Jump. I haven't been able to do that in years, but I appreciate the thought. Natsuki takes a breath. Once she starts reciting the poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. While she's still a little unenthused, her poem has a rhythm and rhyme to it, which I appreciate. I like a good rhyme scheme. The words feel like they bounce up and down, as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes and everyone applauds. She hops back to her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it? Easy for you to say. Better not make me do that again. Well, do you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of other people? I mean, doing it in front of other people will be way easier. I can put on whatever face I want for other people. But when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's a surprise, Natsuki. I didn't think it would be the other way. I think it would be the other way around for me. I'm a little bit of both, because, I'm nervous, because the people whose opinions I trust and value, if they don't like it, I'm going to feel defeated. But also, you're worried that they're going to lie to you because they're your friends and they want to be nice. So it can be really nerve-wracking in both ways. I see it. Well, that's just how it is. So, well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. Might be hard, but I hope you all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting. Geez, I should probably find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting in all this effort for the club. It makes me really happy. Yeah, no problem. Okay, everyone. I think that's about it for today. I know the festival is coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nicely so far, I've been. So I'd like to continue that. As for the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday is the big day. I can't wait. I can do this. All right. I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. If it's for the sake of the club and impressing Monica, then I'll have to do my best. Ready to go, Sayori? Yep. Look at you two, always going home together like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Jeez, guys, don't make such a big deal out of it. It must be a little nice, though. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay, Lee. You don't have to say it. Whatever. Let's go already. I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. But today, Sayori is being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey, Sayori? Sorry, I was spacing out. No wonder. I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to... Sayori fumbles with her words. So let's just say that one day Yuri asks to walk home with you. Huh? What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. Well, no, I'd still walk home with her. It's our usual deal. It's our tradition. You don't break that. That's the friendship bond you got there. I'd rather walk her home, walk back to the school, and then walk Yuri home. Now, granted, because Sayori is my neighbor, that would be counterproductive, but not my point. It's a matter of principle. You really think I would ditch you for Yuri? Huh? But she's so beautiful and smart. That's true. Jeez, I already see her in the club every day. Besides, you always seem to really like going home together. I wouldn't just ruin that for you. You're so silly. You think about me too much sometimes. Yuri would deserve it if she wanted it, so... Sayori, I've already made up my mind. I really can't figure you out sometimes. Sorry. Besides, what's the point in speculating something that's never going to happen? The conversation trails off. It's kind of a weird thing for Sayori to care so much about, but I want to respect her and keep her happy too. Then again, the festival's only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time? Alright, here we go again. Here's... I want to get them right. Yeah. Together. Dream. Nope. Anime. Oh, oops. Didn't even think about that one. Bed. Cheer. Let's see. Peace. Shiny. I don't know. What do I want here? Treasure? It seems more like a Yuri word. Whatever. I mean, we've got mostly Sayori at this point, so it's okay if we get it for others now. Charm. Rose. Oh wow, these are going pretty well. Summer. Oops. Joy. Jumpy. Hopeless. Cheeks. Games. Defeat. Laugh. Okay, yep. We definitely got Sayori with that one. Oh man, I'm the last one here again. Don't worry, I just walked in too. Were you practicing piano again? Yeah. Aha. You must have a lot of determination. Starting this club and now picking up piano? Well, maybe not determination. I guess passion. Which is very important for a healthy life. Remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're all willing to help out for the festival too. I can't wait for the festival. It's going to be great. Huh? Weren't you complaining about it just yesterday, Natsuki? Well, yeah. I'm not talking about our part of the festival. But it's a whole day of school where we get to play and eat all kinds of delicious food. She's got a point. You sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden. Monica, do they usually have fried squid? Squid? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to. Fried calamari? That doesn't sound bad, actually. I'd try it. I've had fried calamari before. It's pretty good. Well, no, that's not true. I've had calamari before. I've never had fried calamari, I don't think. Are you saying you don't like squid? You of all people? Huh? I didn't say I don't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you of all people? I don't like the implication that might be there due to my mind being in the gutter. So we're going to move forward. Because it's right in your name. That's a joke I'd make, and that's why I hate it. That's funny. That's funny, but I'd say it. So that joke makes no sense in translation. Never mind. Let's just focus on our own event for now, okay? She's like, wait, what? Fine, fine. Your reactions aren't as fun as Yuri's or Sayori's anyway. Excuse me. Where is Sayori anyway? Oh, there you are. Sayori is sitting at a desk in the corner of the room looking down at nothing. I walk over to her. Hey, Sayori. I wave my hand in front of her face. Huh? You're spacing out again. Ah. Sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. Huh? Is everything alright? Of course. Why wouldn't it be? Just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for assuming things. Geez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine, see? Sayori shows me a big smile. Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone. Well, alright, if you say so. I worriedly glance at Sayori before turning back toward everyone else. But the conversation is already dispersed with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sayori recently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they must be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approach Monica, who was shuffling through some papers at her desk. Lee, what's up? Hey, this might sound a little strange, but have you noticed anything up with Sayori recently? Anything up with her? In what way do you mean? Maybe I'm reading into it a little too much, but she seems a bit downcast for today. Oh, you think so? I can't say I've noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who is idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her desk. Maybe there is something on her mind, but I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you. You certainly know her a lot better than I do. Yeah, but she's never really liked this. She's always talked to me about things that bothered her, but this time when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, so I'll drop it now. No, it's important to me too. I mean, I'm also friends with her, and I also care about the well-being of my club members, you know? Maybe I'll try talking to her myself. Huh? Are you sure about that? She seemed like she wanted to be left alone. Are you sure? Maybe she just has a hard time bringing it up with the person of interest. Person of interest? What do you mean by that? I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you, Lee. Me? How on earth would you come to that conclusion? Well, probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else, you know. Eh? She's been so much happier ever since you joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned on inside of her. What? No way. Sayori is always like that. She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different now than it always has been. You're so funny. Have you thought that maybe you have always seen her as so cheerful, because that's just how she is when she's around you? I said too much. I'm sorry. What do I know anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so you should just forget about what I said. Oop. I try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now. Ah, alright. Monica smiles meaningfully. I know she said to forget about it, but I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. Oh, hey Sammy, welcome in. How you doing, bud? I watch her kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her, but she's keeping her voice so quiet that I can't hear her from here. I sigh and sit myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her and to have fun with everyone else, but that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. it's Doki Doki Agriculture Club. Wait, Sammy, Lotus Lotus Literature Club. Is that what I should name my classroom? That's an outstanding idea. Yeah, it's Doki Doki Agriculture Club. How you doing, Sammy? Exactly how much do I care about her that I'm letting this weigh me down so much? Now it feels like I'm the one behaving out of the ordinary. But there's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica. Okay, everyone. After some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room. Why don't we share our poems now? Before I know it, everything is back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems, and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica, and she smiles at me. I wonder what she was talking about with Sayori. I'm doing okay, although my voice could use a break because I've been talking pretty much nonstop for 2.5 hours now. So I'm gonna finish out this day and then end, um, and then pick up the rest of the game in another episode because I forgot how long this game actually is, and I would like to finish it. I just can't today. I was not prepared. But I am going to be ending it with some of my own poetry as like a celebration of the theme here. You found out who you want to date? Yeah, I'm aiming for Sayori this time around. But I have to say, when it really comes down to it, Yuri is more my type out of like the character arcs here, because it's like the long dark hair, the like the eloquence, the sophistication, the deep meaning, the horror fan. I like that kind of stuff. Somebody I can have an intellectual conversation with, and also she's shy, and so am I. And I'm into that. But I like Sayori because she's like the bubbly best friend that you're supposed to fall for, in the Hallmark movie. Hallmark, I don't know. You know what I mean? In like the crappy teen movie. This is your best one so far. It's really really nice. That smile feels so forced. Thanks. Sayori, you've been a little quiet today. Who do you pick, Sammy? What are you into here? Is everything alright? Eh? Of course. Everything is fine. Maybe I'm just a little tired today. Do you want a nap or something? No, that's silly. Don't worry about me, okay? I only want to see smiles on your face. Well, alright. Hey, I'm still a little surprised. I really thought that you would try writing your poems like the way Yuri does. Or even Natsuki. But in the end, yeah, I guess you're the one who likes this one the most. Why? You don't want to get closer with everyone else? I have to say Monica would be my waifu here. Slight psychopath. But, you know, if that was a problem for me, most of my relationship history wouldn't exist. So I can't fault you. Uh, wait, of course I do, but that doesn't mean I need to try so hard to impress them. I still understand you the most, Sayori. I know you have to sometimes put up with me, and I have to sometimes put up with you. We have a wavelength or something. That really says a lot. Listen, I'm very good at catching red flags. The problem is, red's my favorite color. But we have a wavelength or something. And this is how the poem came out. Sometimes it feels like you're the only exciting thing in my life. So sometimes it's just easier to write when thinking about you. Sayori? No. Lee, I don't deserve this. You're too nice to me. Why are you doing this? Sayori has trouble keeping her voice steady all of a sudden. If you had fun with everyone else instead, this would be so much easier. Sayori? I glanced around the room to make sure nobody has noticed this. Sayori, I've probably never said this before, but I don't understand what you're feeling right now. Tell me what will cheer you up. Sayori shakes her head. She sniffles and keeps shaking her head. Finally, she gathers herself and puts on a smile. It's nothing. It's just a little rain cloud. Rebecca looks like the type of lady I crushed on when I was in school, but was way too shy. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I can see it. I get that appeal, but I'd probably still have aimed for Yuri. Because that's the kind of girl I crushed on in high school. Also, I made this comment a couple of times at the very beginning, but it makes me uncomfortable that they all, like, in my opinion, seem to, like, show off a different grade level. Like, Natsuki is a first year, which here is, like, there's only 4 years of high school. I know some school systems are different. So Natsuki feels like a first year who's 14. Sayori is a second year at 15. Monica is a third year at 16, and Yuri is a fourth year at 17. And maybe like up each one a year, 15, 16, 17, and 18. But all of them are canonically 18. Everybody involved here is canonically 18, even though in the text they talk about some of them being on the younger side or being a first or a second year. It's weird, and I don't like it. I'm sorry you had to see that. I promise it won't happen again. because of the kind of goth girls I crushed on during my teenage years. I still do that. What are you talking about? That is still my type. Just smiles from everyone, okay? That's all that matters. Go play with everyone else. I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Sayori, tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom, humming to herself. This one, I want to smack around until her head is spun a full 360. I still do it too, but it first hit when that scene was. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I was in late middle school, I think, like 10 or 11, when that started becoming a serious thing. And I wasn't into it at first, actually. Because it was like the scene phase where everybody had really poofy hair and it was cringy, it was edgy. It wasn't just subtle and dark and pretty. I wasn't a fan of that. You know, like I didn't like the blood on the dance floor goth girl. Maybe everyone got held back a grade or two or three except Yuri. Honestly, it's so weird. You can't tell me this is an 18-year-old. Come on. It's weird. And I don't like it. Alright, well, yeah. About as good as yesterday's, anyway. Because I feel like they did that because of certain things. You know, emo scene and goth are 3D. That's true, they are, but when you're 11, 12 years old and experiencing it for the first time, and it's like the up and coming trend, you don't know the difference. That's something that into adulthood I've realized and, you know, figured out what I like about it. But as a kid, that like it that wasn't what I saw. And I wasn't into it at the time because of it. About as good as yesterday's anyway. I see what you're going for, but it's not really my style. I mean, that's fine. I'm mostly just glad that you're trying a little bit. Well, of course I'm at least trying. Why are you so emotionally invested in my poems anyway? Isn't that more of a compliment to me? I've always been an ass. That I don't think that has anything to do with your aesthetic. Monica and Yuri could be 18, but Sierra and Natsuki are more fit. Exactly. That's my point. They are at best 15, maybe. Maybe Sayori is 16. That is not even a 16-year-old. That is like a 14, 15-year-old at best. Eh? No, gross. It's not like I care. It's just that one of us in this club has to make sure you're not slacking off. Really? Well, what if you ended up just scaring me away? And it's like, there's nothing wrong with writing a whole group of adults and having them look different and look childlike or act that way. But it's weird when you're in high school, the dialogue says that they're younger. And let's face it, this is a romance game that has a lot of stuff written about it on the side. It's weird that the writer made them all adults because it feels like that was their intention. And I don't like that thought because that's not where this should go. It's not like you would actually do that. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of fun to hang out here, even if I have to put up with you. Mortal damage. Critical hit. Natsuki's elbow connects with my stomach. Ow. I've been waiting to do that to you all game and you hit first. Maybe I won't mind scaring you away after all. I was just joking. Oh, I know. Don't worry, I was too. Ha 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 ha. The hell do you call that a joke? It seriously hurt. Maybe it was funny to her. I guess that's kind of the point. I should really just watch my mouth around Natsuki. Anyway, Natsuki holds her poem out to me like nothing even happened. I'll be your beach. Your mind is so full of troubles and fears that diminished your wonder over the years. But today I have a special place, a beach for us to go. A shore reaching beyond your sight, a sea that sparkles with brilliant light. The walls in your mind will melt away before the sunny glow. Hi Riku, welcome in! Thank you very much for the lurk. The something else seemed really in depth for what looks like a teenage dating. Yeah, exactly my point. It's weird. It's a weird setup, and I feel like there was background intentions that we don't want. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way you thought had left you long ago. Let's bury your heavy thoughts in a pile of sand. Bathe in sunbeams and hold my hand. Wash your insecurities in the salty sea. Let me see you shine. Let's leave your memories in a footprint trail. Set you free in my windy sail. And remember the reasons you're wonderful when you press your lips to mine. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way you thought had left you long ago. But if you let me by your side, your own beach, your own escape, you'll learn to love yourself again. Now, I know this is metaphor and symbolism, which is all, important and common in poetry. But this hits a little bit differently for me because I actually do have a specific beach that is a vacation spot that I grew up on that it represents happiness and peace for me. It's right on, it's in Maine, right on the coast. And just something about the chill in the air, seeing the little bit of mist because I usually go around like end of winter, early spring, and seeing the smell of the salt. It's so calming for me, and it's like it's a happy place, and I love that, and I try to go back there at least once a year just for like a day trip. I've gone for my birthday the last couple of years. I love it. I love it a lot. Well, actually, I didn't go this year, but I want to. Yeah, I felt like I kept writing about negative things, so I wanted to write something with a nice message for once. That's the difference between my poetry and my short stories. Because my poetry is all light and beautiful and happy, usually, and then you look at my short stories and it's literal creepypastas that require trigger warnings. Aha. Besides, the beach is awesome. That's true. Kind of hard to write anything negative about the beach. True. So you decided to write about the beach first and then came up with the message later? Yeah, well, it's only because of what happened yesterday. I mean, after Yuri and I realized we kind of wrote about the same thing, she wanted to pick a topic and have us both write about it or whatever. You can really see her doing that, too. Making us write about a simple topic, then trying to impress me by coming up with something all fancy. Well, it's not like I care. I just did it anyway. I mean, I guess mine ended up being kind of metaphorical, too, but there's nothing wrong with doing that once in a while. At the very least, it was good practice. I actually like the way she expresses herself with that one. Ah, decided to try something different today? I guess so. Is that good or bad? Well, neither. I have my preferences. But it would be unfair of me to call something good or bad based on that. As always, I believe what's most important is exploring and discovering yourself. That's comforting. I'm kind of afraid of disappointing you in some way or another. Why me? Well, you're always sophisticated with your writing and have the most advice to share. Is that so? Yuri thinks for a good minute. That must be terrible. For me to have become someone whose opinion is fearsome. How unlikable of me. Yuri, it's not as bad as you're making it sound in your head. I just meant that I respect your opinion. I see. I'm sorry that I always overthink and come to those sorts of conclusions. I'm just a little too used to it. Overthinking? Being disliked. Yuri, what am I saying? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring that up. Let's move on. Alright. Do you want to share your poem now? Okay. Here. Beach. A marvel millions of years in the making, where the womb of Earth chaotically meets the surface. Is that an O? It looks like it. I don't know. Under a clear blue sky, an expanse of bliss, but beneath gray rolling clouds, an endless enigma. The easiest world to get lost in is one where everything can be found. One can only build a sand castle where the sand is wet, but where the sand is wet, the tide comes. Will it gently lick at your foundations until you give in? Or will a sudden wave send you crashing down in the blink of an eye? Either way, the outcome is the same, yet we still build sandcastles. I stand where the foam wraps around my ankles, where my toes squish into the sand. The salty air is therapeutic. Yeah, there it is. The breeze is gentle yet powerful. There, those are the lines. Those are the ones that represent me on the beach. I sink my toes into the ultimate boundary line, tempted by the foamy tendrils. Turn back, and I abandon my peace to erode at the shore. Drift forward, and I return to Earth forevermore. I'm aware that the beach is kind of an inane thing to write about, but I did my best to take a metaphorical approach to it. Yeah, Natsuki already told me about it. She did? She didn't say anything weird, did she? She just wanted us to write about the same topic again. Those poems also make you think these girls have a screw loose or 10. True! I suppose to better compare the differences in our writing styles, or thought processes. Anyway, it was her idea. Knowing her, it's no surprise that she'd want to do something like that. She probably just wants to show off. It's not like I have a particular interest in her writing style. I just went with her request. But, well, I suppose it's not so bad to write about something simple on occasion. It can be refreshing, you know? It's good for me to calm my thoughts once in a while. Yeah, I think I agree. Thanks for sharing. Who should I show my poem to next? Wow, there's so many choices. I don't know who to pick from. Sammy, who do you think I should pick? Hi. Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival? Well, being in this just Monica. Being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people, I'll have to give it some more thought. Okay, no pressure. But whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. It would also make me happy to see. Ah. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem. Sure. I let Monica take the poem I'm holding in my hands. Ah. It's kind of funny. How so? No, not the poem. Why did I just say okie dokie? I mean, it's funny how your poems and Sayori's poems have been getting more and more similar to each other every day. I'm surprised you're so in sync with her. Then again, you've been spending a lot of time together lately, haven't you? I guess you could say that. Although we kind of grew up as best friends, I haven't been seeing as much of her this past year. But since I joined the club, we've been spending a lot of time together again. I see. That reminds me. About how Sayori's been a little bit off today. Yeah? Did she tell you something? Well, you haven't been flirting with her, have you? Of course not. I've been treating her like I always do. Alright, just making sure. I know how much you care about her. It would be terrible if something bad happened to her. So keep an eye on her. That sounds like a threat, and I'm gonna put you through the chalkboard. Sayori's been acting so much happier ever since you joined the club. What could have happened all of a sudden? Well, never mind. This really isn't the time to be talking about this. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright? Alright. The Lady Who Knows Everything. An old tale tells of a lady who wanders Earth. The lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer, all meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. And here I am, a feather. This is how spacing works. This is how effective that can be. That is awesome. This is so well done. Lost adrift the sky, victim of the currents of the wind. Day after day I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. But when all else has failed me, when all others have turned away, the legend is all that remains, the last dim star glimmering in the twilight sky. Until one day the wind ceases to blow. I fall, and I fall, and fall, and fall even more, gentle as a feather, a dry quill, expressionless. But a hand catches me between the thumb and forefinger, the hand of a beautiful lady. I look at her eyes and find no end to her gaze. The lady who knows everything knows what I am thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amount to nothing. There is no meaning, there is no purpose, and we seek only the impossible. I am not your legend. Your legend does not exist. Legends also never die. You know, I feel like learning and looking for answers are the sorts of things that give life meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, honey, I have a philosophy degree. I went to college for this. Hit me with it. But it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about. You asked for poems. Stop writing essays. Not honestly, this is the kind of poem I'd write. little bit drawn out, but good. I like that. I see. I never really put much thought into it. Couldn't be me. In a way, it's almost paradoxical, because if we had all the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning? There's one thing I noticed. It seems like everyone in the club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy. Are you surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Hey, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. It's a good thing to write about happy feelings. They're sometimes less inspirational unless it's like passionate, loving happiness, but still, it's a good thing. That's not bad. Humans aren't two-dimensional creatures. I think you'd know that better than anyone. Listen, you mean one-dimensional? Yeah, that. Anyway. Damn it, Sammy. Here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? It can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much into. But if you find other people who enjoy writing, then sharing becomes a lot easier. Damn it, Sammy. Because instead of just telling you that your writing is good or okay or bad, they'll want to focus more on everything that went into it and the things you can work on. It's much more encouraging that way, and it will make you want to continue improvising. It's almost like having your own little literature club, don't you think? Monica's fourth. I know, right? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, you three. We're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out... Hold on a second. Is it just me, or did you say something strange just now? Huh? Something did sound a bit unusual. That's right. You deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. Wait, what did she say? Okay, you three? Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it. Stagnating airs, common foreshadowing of, I didn't mean to hit it. Common foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. In your books, maybe. Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here. It seems you're right. Sayori always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to, anyway? I thought she just went to pee. Natsuki, please, show some decency. Oh, come on. She actually wasn't feeling too well and went home early. Is that so? I hope she's alright. Seriously? Of all the times to not go home with her, you picked the time she's not feeling well? So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. Monica with the foreshadowing. No, first of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Oh? A curious expression coming from Yuri, of all people? I don't think that was supposed to be in quotes. I think that was supposed to be an inner monologue, not outer. Because nobody's responding to it. Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier and everything is fine. What'd she say? Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations, so let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. I already know what I'm doing. That's right. Natsuki will be making cupcakes. But we might need a lot of them in different flavors. Can you handle that all by yourself, Natsuki? Challenge accepted. As for myself, I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. As for Yuri, you can, guys, can you come up with something for Yuri? I'm useless. That's not it at all. You're the most talented person here, you know. Now Natsuki's pouting too? Even I can tell now. I guess I never gave Sayori enough credit, but I can tell things are even harder on you when she's not around. That may be the case. But if I can't also be a leader on my own, then I won't grow as a person. So, Yuri, you have beautiful handwriting, you know? So you should make some banners and decorations to help set the atmosphere. Atmosphere? About that. I love atmosphere. Oh god. Yuri's expression suddenly changes as she stares at her desk in focus and starts nodding to herself. Oh, she is firing herself up, and it's gonna get aggressive. Your mind is already racing, I see. That's great. You'll be a wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, that just leaves you. The one who is truly useless. Don't say that. In fact, both Natsuki and Yuri have some pretty heavy tasks to handle. It would probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. You could always help me out as well. I would be really appreciative of that. Is Monica suggesting I spend the weekend with one of my club members? How on earth are they going to respond to a suggestion like that? I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help. Well, even if you don't know how to bake, there's always some dirty work I could give to you. Excuse me, madam. I am extremely good at cooking and baking. I will fold you into a pie and serve you to the festival. Keep it up. It's not like Monika's going to give me a choice, and you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyway. Natsuki tries to mumble a bunch of excuses like that. If I recall, Natsuki, you mentioned you would like to handle the baking on your own. He may not like to be around if you only make him out to be a nuisance, so therefore he may be more suited to assisting with the decorations. Hold on, I never said that. How hard could it be to make a few decorations anyway? Sounds more like you're just making excuses for Lee to... What are you saying? It would be extremely meticulous work. And baking isn't? Baking cupcakes is a little more on the complicated side. Yeah, you're right. Not every culinary expedition is complicated and difficult, but cupcakes can be, because all manner of things can go wrong. Just what do you think? Guys, let's settle down for a moment. In the end, I think it's up to Lee to decide how he'd like to contribute. Besides, he hasn't really gotten the chance to spend any time with me yet, you know? So I'm sure he's interested in... You literally just said, I'm surprised as well. Sorry. I was just saying, though. Jeez. Can we just settle this already? Yeah. You're okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you. Of course. Very well. In that case, everyone look straight at me. Huh. I mean, if it's going to be anyone, then I prefer helping Sayori. I mean, we're already neighbors but Monika said that Sayori was helping her. Jeez. Do you really hate us that much? No. Sorry, I didn't mean for this to be difficult. Just think of the club, okay? Alright, fine, I'll help with the baking. Baking sounds like it could be fun. You guys made it sound like a lot of work, so it could probably use 2 people. Baking is fun. Baking is fun, especially when it's with somebody you care about, like a friend, a partner, something. It's nice. You get in each other's way a lot. You want to smack each other with a rolling pin. But it's a good experience. If you never cooked with a close like somebody you're close to, do it. Don't worry. Baking is a ton of fun. You'll definitely agree. Huh? Just a minute ago you were saying that's because... Never mind, okay? Well, anyway. You'll be fine by yourself, right, Yuri? Of course. I'm used to it, after all. That was shade, and I don't appreciate it. That's good. Even though Yuri is being melodramatic, it's a little hard not to feel bad. That's everything, right? Anything else we need to talk about? No, I think that's it. Are you guys excited? Yes! Everything except the performance is gonna be awesome. I don't think that really counts. What about you? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested to see how it'll turn out. That's good enough for me. What about you, Yuri? Yuri? She's still sulking. Natsuki starts pouting too. It's not that big of a deal or anything. Well, it might not be just that, huh? I think that Yuri might just be feeling a little underappreciated in general, having to come up with something for her to do and then nobody offering to help. It doesn't mean... Natsuki glances back and forth between everyone with a worried expression. Yeah, let's prepare for the festival. Natsuki goes over and puts her hands down on Yuri's shoulders. Yuri, you really are the most talented one here. Ooh, the pride drop. It went through the floor. And you're going to help make the event a lot more fun and welcoming. I mean, the cupcakes will probably help a lot too, but you're going to make the atmosphere special. I'd give that an A-. Teetering on a B+. It's like a 90. It's an 89 and some change, but I rounded it up. Like... Almost. That'll be really important for the way that people feel during the performances. So, you need to stop being dumb and give yourself a little more credit. Natsuki releases her hands and turns around to face the other direction. You didn't really mean that, did you? Not really. Alright, it's a B now. You get an 84. Yuri isn't the only one surprised. Monika and I are also taken aback by Natsuki's words. Natsuki, of all people, to be saying such encouraging things. But I begin to understand. Natsuki was trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I can tell that she tried to say something Sayori would say at a time like this. because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. I'm sorry for being dumb. I'm going to do my best, and all of us are going to make it a really great event. Yeah, I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today. So I guess it's time for us to head out. Okay, but I'm staying here a bit longer. I barely got to do any reading today, so fair enough, there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone packs up their things. I start to follow Monica and Yuri out the door as they chat between each other. Mr. Lotus, why are you marking yourself trying to lift the spirits of your fellow club members? It's not. No. It's not me. It was the way Natsuki was talking, because she's like, "Okay, I'm encouraging you. You'll do a great job. My job will probably help a lot too, but you'll do great." That's an A minus. Did you really mean that? No, I didn't mean that. B. You could have kept up with it. You could have held the lie. Where are you going? Huh? We still need to figure out our plans for this weekend. You literally would have gotten home and realized that you didn't even have a way to contact me. Oh, that's true. I have no idea how that slipped my mind. Geez, good thing I stopped you. I'm giving you my number, okay? You better not make it weird or anything. Why would I do that? Natsuki gives me her number. Okay, I'm coming over on Sunday. I'll bring all the ingredients. Wait, coming to my house? Yeah, what's wrong with that? I mean, I just figured that since I'm the one helping, I would be going to your house. That's why Natsuki's like a bratty kid who just entered. Exactly! She gets a B in emotional expression. Yeah, right. I could have a guy over my house. My dad would kill me. Fair enough. Really? That's kind of strict if you ask me. Yeah, how do you think I feel? Can't do anything when my dad is home. Anyway, I just needed to complain for a second. We have each other's numbers now. That's all I needed from you. I guess I'll text you when I'm coming over. Alright, fine by me. Yeah, I'm really going to show you why I love baking so much, so you better look forward to it. Oh? Didn't you say you were just going to give me the dirty work? Well, I was just saying that. It's not like I could act like in front of everyone that I was looking forward to this. Wait, really? Well, kind of. Just because I never got to bake with someone else before. Like I said, it is a fun experience. That's all it is, so. Alright, I get it. Sorry for overreacting. Anyway, I'll be heading out now. See you on Sunday. Uh, Never mind. I can't believe this. Natsuki is going to be coming to my house on Sunday? Even though I would have preferred to do this with Sayori, my anxiety still shoots through the roof. I guess I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point, but who knows what might end up happening when we're outside of school. She even told me she was looking forward to it. I shake my head. Why do I feel nervous that Sayori finds out about this? It's not like we feel that way about each other. Are you sure about that? Besides, like Monica said, this is about the club. I have nothing to worry about. If I just go with it, then I'll have a good time. Alright, so we're going to save here, and we're going to call it a day for the game. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. Oh well. I meant to quit to main menu, but it be like that sometimes. I assume I can still be heard. Okay, yeah, I can still be heard. So I'm going to keep to what I said I was going to do. And to celebrate the fact that I just went through a poetry game, I'm going to read a couple of mine, which is something I haven't done before, so I'm kind of nervous about it, but it'd be like that sometimes. And then I'm going to read two of them, and then we're going to raid. So this first one is based on I think it was Sayori that brought it up, that she said, that she called My Meadow. And I have one that's called The Meadow. So I figured I'd read that one. The Meadow. As the sun takes its seat in the heavens, the flowers paint wondrous colors across the land. If you were to watch for mere moments, your mind would be branded with waves of rainbow petals. The petals scatter on the wind, enveloping you in an aromatic caress. The colors invade all of your mind, almost making you feel quite possessed. But when the sun steps down from its seat and the flowers close their petals to rest, your treasured sight begins to retreat, leaving a longing in your chest. At the memory of the petals you begin to weep as you watch the flowers fall into a soft and gentle sleep. So that was the meadow. And this one is actually probably my favorite one that I've ever written. So hopefully it comes across well. It's called Geppetto. How did I know this was going to be about petals? I mean, listen. This one isn't, though. This one's called Geppetto. Once upon a time, a broken boy from a broken home that liked to collect broken things happened upon people who shared his pain. They had cracks, missing pieces, vital components lost forever. He decided to collect them. They would become his children and he would be their father. He could not put their pieces back, nor his own for that matter. So for them he built new pieces, built them back up little by little. In turn, they built pieces for him too. But father, he was clumsy, and he had a temper. Sometimes he broke pieces, sometimes by accident, sometimes he simply couldn't control himself. And it led to his children being even more broken than when they started. So one day many of his children decided they no longer wanted to stay. They fled from their family, leaving the group even more broken than before. But father, he took in new children, collected new broken things, and he built them up too. He even built the perfect mother for them to love, and he swore he'd never drop another piece again. They replaced his newly broken pieces, put him back together, sealed his cracks with gold, and together became the best family he could ever ask for. And so the broken boy, from a broken home, that decided to collect broken things and build them into a family, was made whole again. Okay, it's raid time. That is probably my favorite poem that I have ever written, and I've been writing for the last, 12 years. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. Maybe when I finish the game in another episode, I'll read a couple more. I think that would be a lot of fun. But now it is time to raid. Here is our raid message, everybody. Alright, thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I am having fun with this, although I do apologize that we weren't able to get to any of the actual spooky stuff here. That is a shame. I did underestimate how quick I'd be able to get through this game. But we'll do an episode 2 and get through the rest of it in one shot. It's something to look forward to. So, the schedule coming up, we have tomorrow will be Mass Effect 3. Thursday will be more Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, the Aqua segment of it. Friday will be my streamer anniversary with an extra special surprise game. Saturday will be The Last of Us Part 2. And Sunday we'll be coming back with, actually, I don't remember what I have on the schedule for that. Let me look. Let me check real quick. I apologize. Let's see. Full schedule. Oh, Darkwood, which is a really interesting, I think it's a roguelike kind of games, another survival horror that honestly kind of freaks me out, so I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun. That plane is entirely too close. I'm getting tired of that. But I want to say thank you to Lioness Mama Joe, our twerkin' lurkin' gherkin, for her raid. Thank you to Denny OXQQ and WR Johnsey for your follows, and to everybody who came to hang out today. We are going to be starting up a raid for my beloved friend and Fox Den administrator, the queen of the castle, E.G. Riku, who is currently playing some Dead by Daylight. And, we're going to go show her some love. So thank you, everybody, once again. I really appreciate you all coming by. If there's anything you're looking forward to, make sure you tune in the coming week. And, until then, I hope you all have a wonderful night, a wonderful start to your week, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Have a good night, everybody.